classics.
ForClassics.com. Luxury music.
ForClassics.com. That's where music lives. Yeah, this is for classics. More than a beat, just pure music. Yeah, this is for classics. www.4klassix.com. That's where music lives.
Maranatha out there, Israel. Battle axe in the house. Start off giving blessings to the Most High. Giving blessings, praises, honor, glory, and power be to him that sits upon the throne. Yah-O, Bahasham, Yah-O Shai, Hamashiach, Barakatah, forever and ever. Aman. Salah Khan. You feel me? We're going to start off. We got this star of Satan, the star of Ahasatan. Why we talking about this? We talk about this because this is a big problem that's amongst the children of Israel. You feel me? That's right. This is an issue. We got brothers out there trying to establish some type of false BS that ain't inside the scriptures, first off, about some Star of David. I ain't never heard of it. I ain't never heard of that. Where y'all getting this from? Huh? Ain't that supposed to be in the scriptures that we ain't supposed to be envying our presence and choosing none of his bullshit?
That's right.
Yeah, I said it. Choose none of his ways. Yeah, I paraphrased. Oh, hey, brother, adding and taking. No, I said I just paraphrased. You ain't supposed to be sitting around there looking at your enemy and saying, well, he took that from me. Where's that in the scriptures? Since it's such an abundant situation that our people are facing, then why isn't it not prevalent in the scriptures? Like when you say the Native Americans is our people, Why isn't it not prevalent in the scriptures that we are not going to be able to identify our people with our own eyes? Because that's what it says to Ezekiel, is to go out to your people. That means it's going to be identifiable. Not going to be somebody that you're going to have to guess and use your imagination. But these camps are going about this stuff about under the disguise as, oh no, you don't have no spiritual eyes, or you don't have no understanding, or you're unlearned. Bullshit. That's not what it is. When you ain't making no sense, it doesn't mean that I'm unlearned. It means that you don't know what you're talking about, or you are a liar. Ain't nobody playing with you. Like Darby said, get on with all that foolishness. That's right. Because we ain't got time for all that, man. So we gonna get on right here. Peep this, man. If that ain't the star of Moloch, hold on, let me get this going just real quick. Let me set this up real quick. Just have patience with me just real quick. I gotta set up my keys real quick so I can change my slides. All right. Bam. All right, now you see that right there, and that's in Rome Coliseum right now. You try to say that this star that right here that is on the statue of Moloch, you see that? That's a statue of Moloch right there in Rome that's sitting there, that's standing right now at this day. This is what was actually identified in the scriptures, that the children of Ham, which is the Canaanites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, the Perizzites, the Egyptians. That goes for you Pan-African brothers out there jocking all that Hotep BS. Well, at the end of the day, them people was actually into child sacrifice, and they sacrificed to the god Moloch. You see the star that's right there on that homeboy's chest? And yeah, I said it, the word is, that's a star, because that is to be in the resemblance or to give reference to a star. They say, well, stars are round. I don't care, not from the naked eye. The brightest star that you see in the sky from the naked eye has a glare on it. They have beams coming off of it because they're bright. That's why, you know, to take that away will be trying to redefine the description of a star inside of everybody's mind. Because everybody already knows when you show an object with these points, you are giving reference to a star. So we got to remember that we got to be talking to our people and to other people that is not our people, so they can see that we are actually talking sensible. Because the Most High's reputation is at stake right here with us waking up and me saying which is what and what is not, and what we do and what we don't do. This is all a representation of the Most High's name. And you are putting dirt on his name by trying to say something that is supposed to be done to the children of Israel that is nowhere in the scriptures. You saying that this is the shield of David? That ain't no shield of David. I need to see that. Because only shield is talking about that David has when he was taken from other people, and then he beat some into he beat some brass into a shield, and he got a reputation for being a man of war. He didn't put his name on the shield. It didn't say that. But we're gonna go further into these scriptures and find out all these things. But peep this. Choose none of his ways. We got the Babylonians. So right there, what you see in the Roman Coliseum that was sitting out in front of the temple. Let me slide that back real quick. What you see right here, this is a token that's been set up recently in today's, but it is given token to the god of Moloch, and how the Romans was committing such all kinds of heinous acts of violence inside the Colosseum, and it was being done to the children of Israel. So these people put a mockery statue out there to mock the children of Israel, to put the star of Moloch and put the Moloch statue in front of the Colosseum. It caused an uproar and everything, but it wasn't enough to actually get the statue took down or anything. But if we was paying attention and reading up on European news, you would see that this was an issue that was actually out there. The same way that when they they reared up those they reared up the Baphomet out there in I think it was Massachusetts or something like that. They got the Baphomet statue in America, and they put the Moloch statue in Rome. This is all recent history, man. Current events. Choose none of your ways. Choose envy not your oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Well, right there, we got right there. These are Babylonians with the six-pointed star at the top of this person's arm. The whatever staff or whatever that little scepter she's holding, he or she, whatever it is, it's the six-pointed star at the top. I'm not sure if you can see that picture good enough. Let me see if I can blow it up. You see that six-pointed star now? Did it get bigger? Did the picture get bigger?
Yeah.
Do you see it closer now? They gonna try to say, that ain't no star of Moloch. Ain't no star. Well, that's where the Moloch sacrifices was going down. That was in Babylon to be given their kids to Babylon, which was actually happening in Egypt also. Because when that's why the Most High had it, and it was going down in the land of Canaan during the time that the children of Israel was in Egypt. So that's why the Most High had to give them warning before they got into the land that was promised to them, that they gotta be warned about not having any type of similitude of stars or any type of thing in the sky. We're gonna get to that scripture though. Well, you guys see that. That's a clear picture. Like a picture said 1,000 words. That's a clear picture that star was actually used in other empires by our oppressors. But the Romans oppressed us. They had a six-point star. The Babylonians oppressed us. They rocked the six-point star also. And these people, they know that our God ain't their God. So if this thing had any power, they wouldn't be using it because it would be useless to them. It's frivolous. It wouldn't possess any power to them. You know what I mean? Right there on the Pope's mitre or on his fish Dogon hat. Dogon fish hat. That hat is actually the Dogon worship of the fish god. But that's a whole nother video. What you see right there on his star, on his head, it signifies duality and water or earth and fire. Like it represents two elements. But at the end of the day, this thing is a real thing that our oppressors, which is the Roman Empire, actually rock. So when it says choose envy not your oppressor and choose none of his ways, these are his ways. Because I don't see the Most High saying anything about us that we have to wear a star. Does he say go and start fashioning yourself as according to what you think is right and best for you? Or does he say keep my commandments?
Right.
He doesn't say go and start fashioning yourself in any fashion that you think sees fit for you. Just because you see somebody that took your identity doing it.
Right.
Not every damn thing you see them Arab people doing is yours. Always remember that this is how they worship their fake gods or their demonic gods under the disguise of Christianity or Judaism, in this case with the six-pointed star. It ain't nothing different than a cross. It's just the Ashkenazi or the fake Jews graven image. You know what I mean? They have one for you every time. You want to be a Muslim? They got you a rock. You want to be a Christian? They gave you stocks and sticks. You want to be a Jewish guy? They give you a six-pointed star. No matter which avenue you go to, they're going to have a graven image set up for you to fall and to be tripped up with. Don't be fooled by these camp dudes that's trying to get you to wear a cursed idol.
That's right.
Hexagram. You see that? ancient pagan. This is ancient pagan practices. Ancient pagan empires. And look at this. This was Armenian, Ethiopian, the Romans, 6-pointed star, the Phoenicians, 6-pointed star, the Hindu, 6-pointed star. We ain't had nothing to do with them cats, and the swastika.
Man, that's crazy.
The Mesopotamian, the Bactrian, and there goes your Egyptian, 6-pointed star, and the Japanese. What? Way the hell over there? And you gonna try to say that that is a representation, and that is subscribed to the King of David, and that it is not a star of Moloch, a star of witchcraft, or a star of pagan worship? These are all pagan societies.
That's right.
Every last one of these cats. Ain't none of these folks monotheistic. That's right.
That's right.
These are all pagans. To the fullest, man. You catching that?
That's a thrive.
Yeah, this is a marble stone that's out there in Armenia. This is one of the oldest depictions of the 6-pointed star when it comes down to anything after the death of the Messiah. This right here is in the temple of Jupiter. 6-pointed stars. With, you can't see it too well, but it has something in there called the Medusa bosom, or the bosom of Medusa. This is some depiction of some woman with very enlarged breasts is in the middle of that. Just subscribing and ascribing to pagan worship. Just some bunch of heathenistic people's BS God worship. That's what this is all coming down to.
And making stuff up.
Right. Because you gotta remember, our enemies benefit. We have somebody that's actually benefiting from this stuff because they went through all these measures and in these great extents to keep us from knowing who we are, keep us from reading and writing. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people were going through some great extensive measures to come up with a set goal.
Still are.
And they ain't never stopped. Those same people never stop. And you would be a fool and dismissive to believe that they have not put their hands into us right now. And what I mean by that is put their hand in our awakening, sitting around there messing up our awakening period. That'll be dismissive. That'll be a foolish way of seeing things. Is to think that after all this stuff that they went through, at the end, they just stepping back and they just walking like they just put their hands up and like, oh snaps. I don't even know what to do. I got my hands up. They ain't doing that. These mugs is setting up. They still trying to set up a trip fall. They're like, oh, y'all want to wake up? Well, you ain't gonna wake up the way that you think you about to wake up. I'm like, we gonna fuck that wake up all up. We're gonna have you guys having sex with Mexican girls. We're gonna have y'all wearing Jewish stars. We're gonna have y'all talking smack to your own people, thinking that you're self-righteous and holier than thou. Like, we'll do that. And we're gonna have you wearing tatters and rents, making you believe that you're actually wearing your border of blue. You're gonna go to, this is right here. This is a unicursal hexagram, alchemy, Egypt. Look what this says right here, man. Watch this. It says, the Universal Jewish Encyclopedia declares that the 6-pointed star, according to the Rosicrucian, was known to the ancient Egyptians. This goes all the way back to ancient Egypt. This 6-pointed star is not just confined within the days of David. This was before David. Look, he says the six triangles in the Egyptian hieroglyphic for the land of the spirits in the mythology of the Egyptians, we find belief in the first man god, which is Horus, and his death and resurrection as Amsu. The six-pointed star was the first sign or hieroglyphic of Amsu. What? This star was actually represented to a pagan god, a paganistic god deity in Egypt named Amsu. The rising Horus was the first man god risen in spiritual form. And there it is.
Oh,
That six-pointed star, man. So don't let these cats make you think that this thing actually came up out of nowhere, or that this thing was actually invented or even represented by David. Our people knew strictly not to be representing stars, moons, suns, or anything else. Goats and fishes and
That's right.
alligators and cats and butterflies and dogs. It's strictly in the covenant,
That's
not
right.
to be pushing this. Especially when these dudes are making jewelry out of it, stones out of it. It's a graven image of a star. Read this. He say, he says the Jewish scholar Professor Skolem who was a researcher of Kabbalah and Jewish mysticism and one of the founders of the Hebrew University in Jerusalem, conducted a 50-year study of the history of the Star of David. He published a short summary of the study in 1949, shortly after the symbol was chosen to appear on the new state's national flag. That new state national flag was in 1948 during the Bellflower Declaration. That's when the Jews actually inhabited the quote-unquote Holy Land. This is what he says. He says the Magen or the Magen David, that means the shield of David, is not, you see that, is not a Jewish symbol, and therefore not the symbol of Judaism. This right here, one of the Jewish dudes actually came out, a Jewish scholar came out at the time when these first Jews started trying to promote this thing as theirs to the newfound world. He came out already like, nah, man, this had nothing to do with Judaism. It's actually the Star of David. The Star of Satan, Star of Moloch, the Star of Remphan, the Star of Caillou or Kuan, Kuin. The Bible wasn't playing. It's in there a whole lot more than you're gonna find any scripture that says, yeah, children of Israel, make sure you have your Star of David as a shield upon thy neck. I need to see that. If that's not in there, take that crap off your neck. All right, hold on. All right, next one. He says, an Armenian magic. Peep this. This is where it gets real. This right here is the dome of Korakurt in a monastery from the 12th century AD in Armenia. It says early Armenians believed the symbol had magical powers. You see what I'm saying? Magical powers, and incorporated it in its architecture, astronomy, and sacred art. Attesting to that, there are numerous Armenian cirques or churches constructed in the shape of a six-pointed star. They also are hexagrams to support the dome, or simply a sacred decoration protecting the church, like magic charms. Magic charms? Nah, man. Magic charms, enchanters, soothsayers,
Witchcraft.
hearken into any of them things and have you put to death according to the law, statutes,
That's
and
right.
commandments, man.
Yeah,
What are you
warlock.
talking about, man? This right here is an instrument of witchcraft. This is paganistic god worship and witchcraft, idolatry, fornication against the most high God, because you are dependent on this thing to be some of your protection, not the most high God. I don't need no star for my protection.
That's right.
I got the most high. He tells me if I keep these commandments, he will protect me. He didn't say if I put this star on my chest, he gonna protect me.
That's right.
He says he said don't do stars. Now you got to sit there and use your elementary educational brain capacity and try to figure out what is the shape of this. That shape is called a star. So you need to shut it down, ISIUPK or whatever it's called.
That's right.
ISUPK and all you other camps out there that's actually got this star rocking, y'all got the game twisted. Stop waking up our people with that BS.
That's right.
If you're gonna try to talk to our people, tell them the truth. I went there and asked one of them ISUPK cats, hey, don't we gotta worship the Most High in truth and in spirit? Did you know that dude didn't answer? He would not answer that question. I said, don't we gotta worship him in truth and in spirit? Well, I worship the Most High. I didn't ask you that. Does not the scripture say we got to worship the Most High and in truth and in spirit?
All right.
I even tried to tell him the spirit. I said, John 4, I'm going to help you out. He still sat there. I was like, wow. Didn't even know how to give your brother dap.
Going to.
I went to try to get him dap, and he literally was trying to.
Knuckle bump.
It was weird. He was trying to knuckle bump me. Them brothers COINTELPRO, that's why they ain't got no tattoos. Then they look at you and say, oh man, you got tattoos. Because I'm a real human being out here. Where the hell did you come from? Where were you when it all went down?
For real. Yeah, and it lets them know they lack experience.
They COINTELPRO. Where are you getting these guys? Armenian magic. He said the oldest known depiction of a six-pointed star dating back to the 3rd millennium BC. And this right here was, this is the back end of a dagger that they found. He said the oldest known depiction of a six-pointed star dating back to the 3rd millennium BC was excavated in Ashtaroth building mound of Nurkin Naver in Armenia. This was confirmed by a series of radiocarbon analysis of artifacts conducted in laboratories in Germany and in the USA. The handle of a dagger depicts the world's earliest declaration of a six-pointed star buried in a burial mound containing over 500 graves. So this right here is clearly showing you that this is not confined to the usage of the Jewish people. This was actually we got what you doing on here? Torah Night, Judah Nat. But yeah, this right here is not the truth. When you see this is not the truth, man. So you cannot have the spirit when you got on these paganistic artifacts hanging about your chest. Now we're gonna go to Book of Acts real quick, and we're gonna see what they talking about, what they gotta say. In the Book of Acts, it says, then the Most High turned and gave them up to worship the hosts of heaven. What do you know about the hosts of heaven? You got to go to Deuteronomy chapter 4. Let me go there just real quick and show you that the Most High is talking about the stars when he's talking about the host of heaven. He wasn't talking about leadership, high leadership. He was being very specific because the children of Israel was about to come into a land that was prolific with this type of idolatry worship. So it says right here, he says in 15, he says, take heed unto yourselves, 4 and 15, I'm in Deuteronomy. He says, take heed unto yourselves diligently, as pertaining unto your souls. For you saw no manner of image. What did he say? He said, you saw no manner of image. He didn't say, you saw a star. He didn't say you saw a cross. He didn't say you saw a rock that looked like a vagina. He said, when you saw me, make sure and remember this one, buddy. You didn't see Nathan. Nathan. That means diddly squat. He said, take heed to yourselves as pertaining unto your souls. So if your enemy was benefiting off of the destruction of your soul, they might be sitting here trying to give you a false doctrine to actually have you jeopardizing your soul. With this same scripture, once they read on and say what is going to damage their soul, after he just now said, they got to take heed to. because we hate their soul. This is what the enemy is saying. He said, oh, they saw no manner of image. You hear that? The Most High said, man, you ain't saw no manner of image. The day when Yahweh spake unto you in Horeb out of the fire, lest you mar yourself. He said, the reason why, when it says lest, he said, for the reason that you don't mar yourselves. He said, because you would have marred yourselves. That's why he won't show you what he looked like. That's why he showed us no image.
Right.
Because he's like, I can't show y'all that because you guys actually can't handle that appropriately.
Makes sense.
Y'all always trying to make an image and represent something. Even throw up a gang sign with your fingers because you just want to just come up and cast an image right off the bat.
Right.
You want to have a ready-made image always on hand. Literally. And so they throw up a C or a B or something, crook their fingers up to make it, spell or represent their neighborhood. We are the same people, and the Most High has to warn us about the same things, man. Like, you guys are image rockers. Y'all can't wait to rep. You know what I mean? That's right. And he said, you saw no manner of image after whatsoever likeness. He said, oh, my bad. Let me start back at 16. He said, lest you mar yourselves and make you graven images after whatsoever likeness it be, whether after the likeness of man or woman or any manner beast that is on the earth, or of any manner feathered fowl that flies in the air, or of any manner worm that creeps on the earth, or of any manner fish that is in the water beneath. So he just now covered, he covered literally everything from man all the way down to the insects. He said none of them. Don't make no graven images. Don't have no likeness. When it's saying likeness, that means it doesn't even have to be a graven image. It could be a mold casting. It could be an action figure. It can be a Barbie doll. It can be a creepy critter. The little basket of little bugs that you can get at the store. It has all kinds of little shapes, little bugs and ants and caterpillars and butterflies. All graven images, man. Most High hates every last one of them. He said, you want a butterfly? Go catch you a butterfly. I made butterfly. Don't you go over there and start making you some old awkward version of a butterfly when you can go get you one. And if you can't actually maintain and tame you one of these animals, that's because it's not good for you. You can't, well, I can't have an alligator because you don't need an alligator. We at 19. He says, reading on, he said, unless you lift up your eyes unto heaven. And what's up in the heaven? What's up in the sky? Stars. Lest you lift up your eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun, that's one of the objects in the sky, the moon, another one, and the stars. And what did it say right there? Can somebody help me out?
Even all the hosts of heaven.
All the what?
Hosts.
Hosts of heaven. All the hosts of heaven. Specifically, all the hosts of heaven. When it says even, it's saying specifically.
Right.
All the hosts of heaven. He said, should be deceived. That means that somebody's going to be trying to trick you. This is a tactic that your enemies actually work at. This is one of their angles. This is one of their power moves on you. When the Most High said, unless you should be deceived, that means that is giving reference that somebody's going to attempt this. And the only way that we're going to make this scripture in the real-time effect right now, in this awakening, is when we look over and see these cats trying to push this 6-pointed star. Because there ain't nothing in the scriptures that says that. He says keep the commandments. That means do what you're told. Don't start making decisions on your own because you're stupid. You stiff-necked and you don't know much. You always ask amiss and you seek things to actually solidify your ulterior motives. So you shouldn't make much decisions. Stick with what you're told. You know what I mean? And let's keep it simple.
That's right.
Because once you start trying to add your own things, add your own words, or add your own objects, or add your own books, or add your own histories, that's when you start making a mockery of the Most High God when you call yourself an Israelite, man. That's right.
That's right.
So he say, so we're gonna go flip back, right back over here. Oh wait, let me just finish it. He said, should you be deceived and should bow yourself unto them and serve the things which Yah owe. Bow yourself, that means actually depend on, actually give reference to power, giving reference power to. Ain't that what they saying the shield of Devin's doing?
Yeah.
It's a shield. It's supposed to actually protect them from something.
Bring it out. Still higher.
He said, man, you ain't supposed to be bound. You ain't supposed to be having these stars around your neck thinking that it's going to protect you, nigga. I protect you, you nincompoop.
Bring
That's
it
right.
out.
It says it clear as day, man. And I feel bad for my brothers because they've been deceived by a bunch of wicked cats. And they caught them at the point when they wasn't thinking on their own. That's why a lot of people would be thinking about over here in One Nation Set Apart that we got woken up over here by some camp cats. And you got that one sadly mistaken. We
That's
was
right.
woken up by the Most High because the Most High knew that we wasn't going to be down with that whackness. We already knew not to be pushing nothing. What, man? I'm talking about when I thought that he was olive. When I thought that the Messiah was olive. Knuckle. I didn't have none of that stuff on.
That's right.
I knew that stuff was graven images. I knew that a flag at school that they were trying to get me to worship was a graven image. So don't come at me with that camp stuff.
That's right.
The Most High God knows I ain't lying when I said I ain't never, ever, not one time pledge allegiance to the flag.
So special.
They never got me to ever do it. I've always let them know like it's a graven image. My pops told me he's a Black Panther. After that, they say, go ahead and sit down. All right. He said, lest you should be deceived and should bow yourself unto them and serve the things which Yah, your power, has distributed unto all nationalities that are under all the quarters of heaven. All right? So he literally was giving reference to stars when he broke all that down and gave you all the description of where they're at and where he has put these. He wasn't talking about political leadership or the animals, the bugs,
Right.
the plants, and this and that he made. He said, don't make nothing after that. All right? All right, so let's go back to Acts 7 real quick now. Now we're going to finish, now that we didn't cover about what is the host of heaven and that what these people were making when it came out of Egypt. And let's see what these things are actually giving worship to. What are they subscribing worship to? We're gonna start at 42. Well, I'll run it back. We start at 41. He said, and they made a calf in those days and offered sacrifice unto the image and rejoiced in the works of their own hands. Then the Most High turned himself and gave them up that they should worship the stars of the sky, as it is written in the book of the prophet. O you house of Israel, give ye to me sacrifices and meat offerings by the space of 40 years in the wilderness. So he's saying, did you actually think that you was actually, I believe that you were giving me meat and sacrifice offerings in the wilderness that whole 40 years? The answer to that is no.
When that story?
Yeah. He's like, oh no. He said, hey, you done took up the tabernacle of Moloch. You done took up the religion and the practices of Moloch, Negro. You fool. Yes. And the star of your God, Remphan, figures which you made to worship them. And I will translate you beyond Babylon. So he's saying that this star is actually giving reference to the worship that was being taken place when the people in the ancient days was trying to worship and appease Moloch. That's what this is actually coming down to. This is Moloch. So who is Moloch? You look right here at the scripture, right here, check this out at this slide right here, I got. He said, he says the hexagram or six-pointed star is the symbol of the ancient Renfa, also known as Kuin, who is also known as Moloch. which is another representation of Nimrod, husband of Semiramis, Semiramis, queen of Babylon. This symbol is not Jewish. The Rothschilds, who are papal knights of Malta, put it on the flag of Israel despite heavy opposition, even from who? The Jewish people. These people were protesting and opposing them for even using this fake star because it was already very prevalent over there in the Eastern world that this is not a symbol that was only subscribed to the Jews, and it was actually never actually legitimately representation of anything of the Jews. This is all paganry. This is all, if the Jews did have it, it was because they were falling off already. They were already falling off. They were already into that, all into the that lost in the sauce and into the BS, man. One of the reasons why we probably ended up in slavery in the first place. Reading on. Now we're going to see what it says right here. We're going to back it up at 42 when he says, wait, which one is that? 43 when he says, and you took unto you the tabernacle of Moloch and the star of your Remphan. Oh yeah, because we got a lot of brothers that try to say, oh well, that's not a star. That's the word da in Paleo Hebrew, Dawai, David. I said, what? Have you ever seen a Paleo W? Have you seen the Phoenician Paleo W? Looks damn near like a big old crypt C. Looks like he's throwing up an east side. I don't see that nowhere in that star figure. That is not a da in a da. It's a star. Don't sit here and try to prove. That's when they doing that. They are actually disrespecting your intelligence. When somebody tells you something that you know what it is and that it's not all of a sudden today. Right. That's somebody that's literally disrespecting your intelligence.
Confusion.
They believe that they can get this one over because you might be stupid.
Like them.
Yeah. Stupid people showed me this and I fell for it. So when he says the figure, he said the star of Remphan, the star of your God, Remphan, figures which you made to worship. Let's see what this figures is. They try to say these figures is actually alluding to human silhouettes. The word figure. Let's get it. It says symbol. Figure. I got this, and I'll tell you where I got this out of freedictionary.com. It's the largest, extensive, most detailed breakdown of all the words. You get literally like pages and pages of information on each word, to where you're not going to miss the point about what a word means.
That's right.
All right. So let's get this. He says at 1. He says a written or printed symbol. What? Symbol. That looks like a symbol. He says representing a written or printed symbol representing something other than a letter, especially a number. Okay, so in a lot of cases, it represents a number when you're dealing with figures. That's in the mathematical sense. But in a lot of cases also, it is a printed symbol that represents something. It could be a printed symbol that represents a horse. They'll show you a horseshoe or a horse head that represents a knight. With this one, they show you a 6-pointed hexagram, also known as a sexagram, which leads, for real, the definition of this 6-pointed star is called a hexagram / sexagram. And that sexagram is alluding to the male and female bonding or duality, dualship, and creating life. That's what it's about. That's what that's about. Watch, we're gonna get there. Yeah, man. This has nothing to do with our people. This is that stuff about these people that have problems making babies. You have problems making babies. You worship God when you actually, you know what I'm saying? Those people be like, oh man, we're giving thanks to something. I gotta thank something because I finally had a baby.
Right.
They're like, damn, because we tried over and over and over and over, and we were very unsuccessful. And then when we finally get it, they think it's a miracle. That's where that whole thing about babies are babies are miracles, but black people don't really have that same type of outlook about that. About babies are more just like, oh, okay, babies, pregnant, you know, versus white folks. They're like, finally, are you happy? You don't look happy. All that crazy shit. No, it's a miracle, baby. All that. That's because these people are infertile. So when they actually have a baby, they want to worship something. They want to subscribe to something greater than their power, because they know that their power wasn't actually able to accomplish that. You know, that's for real. That's what leads to worshiping of some type of god of fertility, because they know that they wasn't able to actually perform it and pull it off themselves.
All right.
That's deep. He say, look, we're going to go down to 2 and A. He says, mathematics. Well, I'm just going to read the whole thing. He said, amount represents a number. He said, figures, one of digits. Yeah, I'm going to read down to 2 and A. Mathematics. A geometric form consisting of any combination of points, lines, or planes. A triangle is a plane.
Boom.
It's a plane figure. I forgot to get the word in there. But yeah, it's a plane figure. So the triangle, what you see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles on that 6-pointed star. Those are actually literally geometric shapes. It consists of a figure. It's called a geometric figure. So when the interpreters was interpreting this scripture right here from Greek into English, they knew that the word figure was accurate, and they wasn't talking about the shape of a human body. They were talking about stars, and it's a certain figure that they use for it. It had a specific figure, and all we got to do is look into the history and start seeing what was a prevalent star that we saw in pagan in pagan societies, and you will see that 6-pointed star. Not saying I'm not saying that's the only star, but it definitely was prevalent in the ancient days, and it was a symbol of magic. Like a symbol of magic for protection. Just like the dudes are saying that what it is now. They just ain't using the word magic. Right. But they're still saying that it's a protection when they say it's a shield. That's where your brain psyche goes straight to the word or to the idea of protection.
Yeah, that's right.
When somebody says, "Where's your shield of David?" I got my shield of David. I'm like, oh, so that's supposed to protect me. I'm like, and then go rewind 2,000 years ago. You be just like a pagan dude sitting around there like, yeah, this is protecting me. Well, I got a whole flock of pagans that's down with what I'm down with. I wonder why. Are these godly people? Or I got the game twisted. You got the game twisted. I seen Judah over there try to say truth and spirit, whatever. You got a 6-pointed star. A lot of your years of your life rocking that bullshit.
Come on.
Look at this. We're going to read on about these figures. You see that star right there? Let's see if that star applies to this definition. The outline, form, or silhouette of a thing. Is that an outline or a form or a silhouette of a star in the sky? Are we gonna be like ignorant and dismissive and childish and dishonest and try to say no, that's not? You know damn well that's exactly what that is. That's the closest thing that it looks like. It doesn't look like the top of a lily, like a Gorilla Hebrew tried to slide off. He tried to slide that to me, and I was like, Deuteronomy 4. He knew not to ever bring that up again. He actually ended up kicking me off. And I was like, what?
Yeah, you can't have the similitude of nothing.
Similitude of nothing. You was trying to say that at the top of a lily?
Smash yourself out.
Dummy. That's how you know how desperately wicked they are, because their lips professes the abundance of their heart. And when they say these outlandish statements, it lets you know, like, oh, these are really evil, wicked people. and they're actually doing this stuff deliberately, and they think they're getting away with it. These are actually real devil worshiping Negroes that's masquerading as being Israelites, fucking the whole damn thing up.
Mm. Slowing down the process.
Yeah, throwing wrenches, sabotaging.
Mm.
They sabotage. This is all sabotage. Thanks a lot, Judah,
Oh.
for helping and insisting in the sabotage of your own people. You said, look, we're gonna go down to D, because C is what they like to hear. The shape or form of a human body. Yeah, but we got a number two. We got two of them that's talking about that, and we got a plethora of them that's saying the otherwise. What the word figure is. I'm gonna beat this dead horse until there's nothing left. He said a person, especially a well-known or famous historical figure. That's the one that they like. We got that. An impression or appearance made. Is that an impression or an appearance of a star made? That's what it appears to be looking like from the naked eye. Without the telescope, we don't know what the shape of a star is. From the naked eye, it looks like it has rays on it coming from a central source, which is that hexagon, which the Bible describes as being round. But these nincompoops wrote it. I mean, they made it a hexagon because it's actually a symbol of duality. The symbol of duality seems to just so happen to make a star, and they accepted it as a star because these people are star worshipers. They're duality worshipers. They're sex worshipers. They're fertility worshipers. They worship all the stuff that pretty much comes about. And here you are, Israelites, falling right after that mess. Let's go down to 5. He says a person, animal, or object that symbolizes something. Now, ask yourself this one. Does that symbolize a star in the sky? When you see that, are you clear, or is it clear that whoever put that up there is trying to get the message across that it is to be interpreted as a star? Like, you've got to ask yourself that question. When somebody posts that anywhere, what are they trying to reiterate to you? Are they trying to reiterate to you that that's a dog?
No.
They're trying to reiterate to you that it is a representation, or is symbolic to a star. You want to say, what is the word star mean? What's peaches and apples? What's apples and oranges? Listen, when it said this star, and it was talking about in Deuteronomy 4, I don't care what word you want to try to pull up, it says specifically where these things are at that he's talking about. When he's saying this word star, he's saying it is right there in the same place where you be seeing the sun and the moon. What else is up there? Stars. And then you see the word that was interpreted in English for us to be able to understand was stars. And then it says in Acts, they were figures, not idols. Because when the scriptures is talking about people making figures of human embodiment, it will say idols. When it's talking about animal embodiment, it'll be talking about idols. But when it's saying you making some type of shape, like a cross or a star or a moon, it'll say figures. Because it's not exactly in the complete likeness of what is actually up there, but it is to represent that. You know, just like a horse head represent a knight.
Right.
Welcome to our music family.
You know, it's that simple. This is elementary. This is elementary understanding. It's just that when people try to solidify and establish a lie, that's when it starts getting confusing and complex. But if you keep it nice and simple and just do exactly what you say, you can't, and I'm talking about stay in the clear and stay out the way and just do exactly what you're told, because that's the safest way of going about this. You won't be endeavoring, or what's the word I'm saying? You won't be indulging in error, because this is error that our people in, and they actually collect these things and promote these things and think that they actually really somebody because they got these things. And It's the complete contrary. An object that symbolizes something. We're going to go down right here. We're going to go down to 7. It says a diagram
Welcome to
drew a figure of the office layout, a design or pattern. Is that a design? Tell me now. Tell me this one, Judah. Is that a design or a pattern? Is that a figure of a geometrical figure of a hexagon, of a triangle, of a plane triangle? You know it is. You need to stop lying to yourself and snatch that jewel off your neck. Because man, I'm telling you, man, you cursing yourself. You may not be thinking that it's going to be happening now, but every dog has its day. That's right.
That's right.
Right here, I'm beating the horse. I'm not gonna beat you too bad. We're gonna go down to 1 and 2 where it says mathematics to calculate the number, figure of the sum. Okay, whatever. Now number 2, to make a likeness of, depict, to depict.
Okay. It's a circle.
Exactly.
It's still a circle. You outline it.
Yeah, and it's on the back of the dollar bill.
Con.
So envy not your oppressor and choose none of his way, and you got it right there on this as a perfect circle. Then you got it right here as at the bottom, right here in the middle. That's right there on the back of your dollar bill, and on the other side of your dollar bill where it has the stars on there. It got a 6-pointed star again. You know. Yeah, and then at the top, you see that it is in a depiction and a likeness of exactly what you're seeing at the top frame. This is supposed to be a star, and all of these are supposed to be stars. So don't sit here and try to tell me that that ain't a star. Well, the word in Hebrew, star, means whoop-de-wop-de-whoop. I don't care.
That's right.
In English, it's saying, and it's warning me about you and your stuff that you're promoting. And that's just that fact in English, what everybody else is going to actually understand. So good luck, nice try, and for real, good luck trying to sit here and try to convince everybody that what they already know what is the star. Because my 4-year-old walked up, as soon as he saw me making this video, she walked up and said, "Is that a star, Daddy?" She could barely talk. But she's smarter than you to realize that that is a star, and somebody that was able to actually convince you that it wasn't. You wouldn't be able to convince my 4-year-old daughter that it wasn't. She looked right at you like you a buffoon. Walk off on your ass. That's right.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying, man? Y'all making our people look bad with all this foolishness, man. You guys making it seem like you're underqualified to actually obtain these scriptures and teach them, man. You still seem like you're radical and bizarre. Become sober-minded. That means, man, let's be realistic about the scriptures. Be sober. Stop having your imagination running wild. When you see dragon, don't start thinking about an actual dragon. Let's start trying to figure out what it's saying. When it's saying a woman, let's not just put it all on Mary. And let's start looking into the scriptures and start seeing what they're actually talking about. Just be realistic. Don't make up your own understanding. The scriptures cannot be broken, and there is no private interpretation. That means that you're going to be able to find it either in the old or in the new, or in the Apocrypha and the old, or the Apocrypha and the new. They all go together. That's right.
That's right.
And that's just what it is, man. And yes, I'm not sorry to bust your bubbles. I like doing this. I like taking foolishness and just making it look like what it really is.
Con.
Exposing it for its error that it really is. Now, I want to touch this 6-pointed star because you see these 6-pointed stars right here? They say, well, this is that, this is reference to this and that. But this is what happens when you type in the word 6-pointed star. They want to say, well, what is the word star? Go look in the definition of the word star. No, I want to look at the definition of the word 6-pointed star. And you get this. They give you this picture. 6-pointed star. It says description, a hexagram or a sexagram. And this right here is right off of Wikipedia, man. A hexagram or a sexagram is a 6-pointed geometric star what? What is it? A star what?
Figure.
Figure.
That's right.
It is a star figure. I'm talking about this is when you want to go and bring this issue up in court. If you want to ever have to file a civil suit to the government talking about we the children of Israel, y'all gonna have to recognize and pay back. You're gonna have to actually be able to still confine under the guidelines of their definitions of things that they are defining. You're not allowed to go out of that scope. You're not going to be able to sit there up there in front of the senators and the judges and the legislators and tell them, well, the word star, when it comes down to us, we don't actually subscribe that to what you guys have been actually showing as all stars everywhere in the world.
Pretty confusing.
All of a sudden now, we are going to reinvent the wheel and tell you what you've seen as a star is definitely not a star. That's the word David. They're going to laugh you out of the courtroom. You're going to look like a laughing stock. You're going to make the children of Israel and the Most High God look bad. You're doing a smearing campaign on yourself, shooting yourself in the foot, looking like a Negro dummy that's using something that he should not have in his hand. Why? Because he's not actually qualified to teach. He doesn't know the difference between good and bad. He doesn't know the difference between his enemies and the scriptures. He doesn't know the difference between his own understanding and following a directive. That's what this is about. Are you your own God? Because we got a lot of brothers, everybody that's rocking this 6-pointed star, whether they realize it or not, they are still themselves their own God. They haven't actually completely submitted to a most high power.
That's right.
In their mind, when I say in their mind, I'm talking about subconsciously in the back, the part where they don't even realize it maybe. They don't realize it, but they are still their own God. They can do this themselves in their heart, deep down. And the way that you will see that is not really by their actions. You just judge them by the fruits. What they think. What do they teach? What do they represent? And then you see a 6-pointed star and you're like, oh, snaps. You're still your own God. You still haven't totally submitted to direction.
Deep.
You know? And that's to you, Judah Nat.
Gotta set correction, brother.
Yeah. He said a description of a sexagram, the 6-pointed geometric star figure with the Shalafi symbol. This is the Shalafi symbol, whatever that is. It ain't Jewish. He said, or since there are no true regular continuous hexagrams, so it's saying this doesn't actually even exist naturally in nature. So when they try to say, oh, this is a representation of the top of a lily, lilies don't look like that. When they try to say it was the top of a pomegranate, I got that one too. It was the top. It's the top of a pomegranate.
Oh, a busted of a pomegranate.
You ain't never seen you know, a pomegranate has like like a little star, little thing at the top. They say you don't even know. You ain't never seen a pomegranate.
It's still
I was like, well, even if it, as I told you, even if it is, it's still in violation of Deuteronomy 4, man. It's the likeness of a pomegranate. Like, you're not supposed to wear that stuff.
That's right.
You want to wear a pomegranate? They can go tie you up, get you some rope, because you ain't gonna have no bling bling. Get you some rope and tie you a pomegranate, and let that dangle around your neck until it rots. He said, since there is no regular continuous hexagrams, the term is used to refer to the compound figure of what? Two equilateral triangles shown to the right. The intersection is a regular hexagon. And watch this. So it's actually two triangles because it's not a real shape. So it's giving reference to two triangles, which represents stars and duality and star worship and duality worship. and fertility worship. Now look at that. Hexagram or sexagram. Hexagram in the Greeks, sexagram in the Latin, is a six-pointed geometric star figure with the shalafi, the mystical union of the two triangles, represents creation occurring through the divine union of what? Male and female. That's why it's called a sexagram. Because you got to have sex for this to happen, for the creation occurring of the divine union of male and female, talking about making a baby, doing the wild thing. So that's what this is all about again. It's about sex.
Right.
This is a sex symbol. This actually is a magical, paganistic, sex demon symbol.
That's right.
That sounds like Satan. That's how you worship Satan, is butt sex. It looks like a butthole. Does it not look like an anus hole? Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Butthole. That's what it looks like. I know, I never thought of that. But I just looked down and was like, it looks like a butt. That looks like a butthole with a turd about to come out. Yeah, I said it. Don't it though? Am I tripping?
No.
Like y'all go over there, guys. See, the Muslim got the vagina sex worship. For real. The cross ain't nothing but for real, the cross ain't nothing but dick and balls. And then the 6-pointed star is a bunghole. Ew. Ain't it though?
Oh.
That's right. So right there, man, y'all gonna have to wake up, man. Get that butthole off your neck.
That's right. Come on, Judah.
We're gonna go to the book of Amos 5:25. So when you gotta run across these cats, you gotta go to Acts 7:41. Read on down, show them what the star is, show them what the word figure is subscribing to. Then you gotta show them that it's a representation of a bunghole. Then you slam over to book of Amos chapter 5:25 and get them in another corner with this one. He said, have you offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? The answer to that is because it's a rhetorical question. The answer is no. But you have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch and Kayum, your images, the star of your God, which you made to yourselves. So our people was actually getting caught up for these same practices back then. We still getting caught up for the same practices up and now.
Oh yeah.
Like the same way that we is sitting around here despising we got pastors and leaders despising the Most High God's laws, teaching us to have a distaste for his laws, statutes, and commandments. That was actually happening back then also. We're in the same predicament today. We are parallel with these prophecies, and we're parallel with what took place that transpired in the past. You know what I'm saying? So when you're hearing about these things, you got to try to find out, where does this scripture fit? Where does this parallelize? If that's a real word. Am I using that right? Parallelize? Parallelize?
Yeah,
Parallelize. Yeah, I said it. So where it goes into the acts of being parallel, you got to see when is that applicable. So you say, okay, I'm an Israelite. Bam, he's talking to them. Check. He said, okay, we got people thinking that they pushing the Most High, and they're not. Check. And now we gotta look for some star. Where's that star at? So we gotta look for somebody that calls himself an Israelite that's pushing it. They're thinking they're pushing it, and they're not correctly. And it got to be some star present. And then you would get these cats. And you see, let me show you another one. It's a talisman. This is a representation of a talisman, a lucky charm. This is the Moloch that you see today, that you see at the top right corner. Then you see the ancient depiction of Moloch at the bottom, right there under it. All right. He says, on on the first phase, this is the talisman of Saturn. This was Saturn, and Saturn is actually Satan. And this six-pointed star gives reference to Satan. We're gonna read at the top first. It says the bull. He said, which also represents Rampham and Moloch. Rampham is actually Saturn, and Saturn is actually Satan. All right. He says, on the first face of the engraved talisman of Satan, a pentagram, that's the 5-pointed star, or a star with 5 points. On the other side is engraved a Baal's head. Or a bull's head. That's when you see a bull head, that's always giving reference to Baal. Baal is always giving reference to Satan. He said a bull's head enclosed in a 6-pointed star and surrounded by letters composing of the name Rempha, the planetary genius of Saturn, according to the alphabet of Magi. The magicians, the Zoroastrians, the same people that's supposed to be the wise men that was supposed to go through and assassinate the Messiah, the magicians.
Damn.
These are all pagans. The magicians from where were they supposed to be from again? Persia. These magicians from Persia, Persian magicians. This is something that the Persian magicians, the Magi, the Persians, another pagan deity worshiping empire. These people were actually rocking this star. This is the talisman of Satan, or the talisman of Saturn, man. It's just the information seems almost as if it's like never ending for this stuff. To where you know now, you'll know clearly after just a small research that these people are not going in error. These brothers is wicked as all hell, and they are turning a blind eye, and they are purposely misleading the children of Israel because they are actually subscribing and alluding to somebody's agenda, man. So we know that Saturn is Satan.
God.
All right.
That's right.
He says, have you offered unto me sacrifices and offerings in the wilderness 40 years, O house of Israel? But you born the tabernacle of your Moloch, and Cain your images, the star of your God, which you made to yourselves. And Kuin is just another word for Saturn, or Kaiun, and Saturn is just another word, depends on what time phrase that you was in history, or where you was at geographically. It would be Satan, Saturn, or Kaiun, man. These are all the same paganistic gods, man. And the word Kaiun actually means an image or pillar. That's in the biblical outline usage inside of the Greek lexicon. So go ahead and look it up. He said probably a statue. This is what they say. Probably a statue of the Assyrian Babylonian god of the planet Saturn. You see that? So the scripture says that it's Kaiun, Rempha, in Amos 5. Right here, it says in the biblical outline used just for the word Kaiun, that's a Babylonian Assyrian god that represented the planet Saturn. Right? And it was used to symbolize Israelites' apostasy. There wasn't no symbol for the Israelites' apostasy. There wasn't no signet. When the children of Israel made signets and did signets, the Most High would tell them to put words in it. He never told them to make shapes and signets. He would always tell them, put the word in there. Put it like, engrave it as a signet. And put the word Judah in this stone. Put the word Ephraim in this stone. And engrave the word this. He's like you do a signet.
That's right.
Not shapes. Not stars. That comes from when you see they say, well, when you see on the king movies, all the kings and they be sealing their stuff with a ring. That'd be the king's symbol and all that. I don't give a damn. Those people were pagans.
That's right.
Don't show me nothing that a pagan was doing and then say, you see, I see that I'm not supposed to envy my oppressor and choose none of his ways. So if this is what they're known to do, I don't need it.
That's right.
That's right.
Is it in the scriptures? No. I'm going to stick to what I'm told to do, also known as commandments. And that's just the problem with our people, man. They don't want to ever just let go and say, you know what, you're right, I wasted my time.
Right.
Many years. Thanks for actually showing me a whole new broadened scope of how to look at this. Thank you. They won't say that. They'll be like, oh, you don't, and you. Like, nigga, I be wanting to bitch slap somebody when I say some shit like this,
That's
man.
right.
Like, are you kidding me? Are you delusional? Thought you supposed to be woke. No, you sleepwalking. He say right here, at the Strong's definition, it says, properly a statue, an example, an idol, but used by euphemism for some heathen deity, perhaps corresponding to Priapus. And Priapus, I don't even want to tell you who Priapus is. Well, I'll tell you who it is, but I'm definitely not about to show you. Priapus is represented by a dude walking around with some legs, and the top part of him ain't nothing but just a gigantic schlong.
Oh, hell no. Excuse
I'm
me,
not
ladies.
lying. Or it's a regular dude with a enormous, when I say enormous, like a tree trunk schlong. That's what it is. These people were worshiping this shit. So when you see this six-pointed star, it's talking about Kayun. And when it's talking about Kayun, Kayun is actually giving a references or corresponding to Priapus. Priapus is nothing, according to nothing but just super hard, super large slong dong.
You see that
Butt
nigga
sex, butthole looking like slong dongs. Like, get this sex object off of you. You're fucking stupid. You lost your mind. You've been deceived. Just get rid of it. You probably spent $35 on that piece of crap. Throw it in the trash. Because you don't see nobody rocking none pure gold. See them rocking this little fake silver bullshit. Like, throw it in the trash, man. All right. It says right here, and this is still in the lexicon. All right. I'm looking in the Gisanias, Hebrew Chaldean lexicon. It says the name of an idol worshipped by the Israelites in the wilderness. But we already know, but the scripture, this is what the Jews are trying to say. They're trying to redirect it from it being the actual star, and they're trying to turn it into an idol when the scriptures don't say that it's an idol. The scriptures actually says it's a figure. Something that they made, a figure of a star, not an idol, like the Jewish people, because these are the ones that made the Hebrew lexicon. They're trying to merge the definition, just like these Hebrew Israelites trying to merge the definition. But if it doesn't line up with the scriptures, then we know what the real definition is, and we know when the lie is coming up. This is where the lies and the fallacies come through with people like G-Man, or not G-Man, but I'll just name some SBD. A lot of these cats from SBD, they don't want to be saying things like, "Oh man, y'all dudes is y'all don't know what y'all worshiping, or y'all worshiping some BS or thing like that, or because this thing has a lot of fallacies and contradictions." You're like, no, ain't no contradictions. You just got to know how to stay lined up with the scriptures when you start looking at other definitions.
That's right.
If that definition doesn't line up with what the scriptures is saying, you know that definition is BS, not the scriptures. The scriptures let you know clearly in Amos and in Amos 5, in Acts 7, and in Deuteronomy 4. It lets you know clearly that what this star is and what they're giving reference to. What this Moloch thing is, it's actually literally a figure, not an idol. So let's just read on though. He says in Arabic language, an example, he said the planet Saturn, regarded by the Phoenician Shemitic people as an evil demon, to be appeared by expiatory sacrifices. It's supposed to be appeared by sacrifices, expiatory sacrifices. Sex, blood,
So you
exchange of
appease that
body
demon by doing
fluids.
all that.
Huh?
Yeah, that's how you appease that demon.
Yeah, and that right there will actually make sense on why these things, or that thing is looking like a butthole, or the when you get to the Christian religion, it's a schlong, When you get to the Muslim religion, it's a vagina. The Mecca rock is literally a cooter.
You ain't lying.
It could, because they always say, even in the side notes on this book right here, it says that when it's saying Moloch or Baal, it's all talking about any other deity worship other than the Most High God. It all is bottled in and lines under and falls under Moloch worship.
Devil worship.
Yeah. No matter how you flip it or twist it or dip it and rub it down and flip it.
That's right.
It's the same thing. You're just doing Moloch worship in all kinds of different avenues, but it still leads to the same destination. All right? So it says, to the Hebrew words, blah, blah, their answer, some of the members, however, being transposed, the Greek, whatever, so that it is clear that the Hebrews is expressed in Greek by priapis. That's another one. That's priapis. It says it in Hebrew word, but that's priapis again. The walking penis. All right. You know, he says for Rosenmiller, that's another Jewish guy, does not convince us that this word is inserted as a kind of gloss. Now it appears pretty certain that Priapus was an Egyptian name for Saturn. Large penis worship. Sex organ worship. And these people were homosexuals. And what else do homosexuals be liking to do stuff to? Butts. Lo and behold, you got this 6-pointed star looking like a butt. A butthole. They're like, what? That's what your mind see? Yeah, I said it. Yes, it did. After I read that it's supposed to be representing some type of sex stuff, it's called a sexagram. I'm like, well, what's sexual? What is that? What about that looks like anything about sex? I'm like, oh shit, butt sex.
That's why I bring it out.
Butt sex. Yeah, I said that. That's on One Nation Set Apart. Battle Axe. He said that 6-pointed star is synonymous to butt sex.
That's right.
Go ahead, go run home and tell your mammy. And your son is running around literally with a bung hole around his neck. You know? And he did it. When he did it, he thought that he was smarter than everybody. He was like, you know what? Now I'm smarter than everyone. I'm a step ahead of the whole world. Huh. Smart old me. And he put it right around his neck and thought that he was wearing something powerful and protecting. No, you wearing a bunghole that looked like it already had something in it. Or it looks like something's coming out. That's right.
That's right.
Judah Nats. I bet you probably turned off the channel by now. You probably looking like, I got to go. I will go to the next one. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 20. And let's start at verse 1. Because we're gonna get this now. Because people they like to see you know what I mean, some Deuteronomy. But ain't nobody like to see Leviticus. You're gonna see a lot of cats steering away from Leviticus because camps, which is supposed to be the actual Levites, they don't even realize that. They just call themselves Judah. But they stay, you notice, they be staying clear from Leviticus. The only time they go to Leviticus when they want to talk about how you got your hair shaved. Leviticus. You're like, well, what about that star around your neck? Leviticus is knocking you upside your head about that. You don't got no understanding. Damn. You like, nigga, I learned English like you did. What you talking about? Look at this. There we go. And Yahweh talk with Moses, saying, tell the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the stranger that dwells in Israel, that gives of his seed unto Moloch, he shall die for it. So right now, if we have enemies that want to see us dead, like all children of Israel will admit, you don't think that they won't be trying to set up any type of instrument that leads to our death, especially if the scriptures give you a straight, intricate outline and recipe on how to do it?
Right. Yeah, that's right.
The scripture says this is how the children of Israel get murked. get them to wear some bullshit. If y'all wear bullshit, you're gonna die. As an enemy, I'll be listening like, so that's what they God just said. Say word, nigga. Let's get them out there. Let's hire all these Negroes that look real soft. I know we can't get no real ones, but we get some real soft looking ones. We try to get them look as rough as we can. Get them in the gym. You know what I mean? You'll notice they all got muscles and shit.
Yeah.
They ain't got no tattoos. They ain't got no scars in their face. Where the bullet wounds and the scars on their lips and shit? Cause my lips is split in half. I got scars all over my fucking face. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know?
That's right.
That's because I'm out here. I got tattoos and they all suck. Yeah, I said it. I got all homemade makeshift tattoos because I'm from poverty and desperation. That's what happens when you be like, I really want a tattoo because that's what everybody else is doing, and this is like literally the dress code. What you go make you some homemade ink, get you a little needle, and you get to work. Have a sucky tattoo for the rest of your fucking life. To show that where you came from and what you were doing and how you were thinking when you came up. That's what it does.
That's right.
If you see somebody and they ain't got no, for real, they ain't got a funky tattoo,
Be suspect.
or they got something on there that is completely contrary, you know what I'm saying? Because these days, these people, they ain't really doing the thing, and the tattoos got so damn cheap that people are getting real blasted, but they get blasted with bullshit.
Yeah, like Winnie the Pooh or something.
Yeah, you see somebody with something like that, you like, or they'll have a chick name on them, have it blasted right on their neck, and you be like, okay, this dude got a tattoo on his neck, like this is some chick, it's in Old English. You already know his background. This guy is some type of criminal.
Yep.
He was out there.
Yep.
You be like, hey man, you got the weed? You know where the weed at? What's up? You want to smoke with me? It's always going to be yes, or yo, I'm on parole. You know where to get some shit? I'm talking about methamphetamine. That's just what it is, man. You see these dudes absent of these things, man, and these characteristics, man. I'm telling you, they COINTELPRO.
That's right.
There's no way that they couldn't have read this scripture right here. Let's get this. He said, if you give your seed unto Moloch, he shall die for it. Now I'm gonna read a side note real quick for you right here on this scripture. This is in the William Tyndale Bible, 1538. 1537. He says, on a side note, he says, Moloch, under this name, Moloch is forbidden all manner of the idolatry, especially the exercising of children exercising of children thereto, for that is abominable. Or teaching your children. That's what I mean by exercising your children thereto, teaching them how to actually walk in these customs. So these brothers is actually teaching our people. That's how you give your kid to Moloch, is to, and the worship Moloch is to wear a 6-pointed star. That's a way of doing it. And to teach your kid that this is the way of doing it, and you're actually protected through this. That's idol worship. You're giving your seed to Moloch.
That's right.
So some people, because a lot of people are like, well, I don't sacrifice babies, so I'm clear with that one. Yes, you do, because you got a 6-pointed star and you got any kids. You're teaching your kid to wear a butthole around his throat. Yeah, I said all of that. And I'm gonna read on. He said, especially the exercising of children thereto, for that is abomination before Yahweh. Moloch was an idol of the children of Ammon, whose image was hollow, having in it 7 closets. One was to offer there in fine flour. That's in one closet. Another for turtle doves. The third for a sheep. The fourth for a ram. The fifth for a calf. The sixth for an ox. And for him that would offer his son was opened the 7th closet. And the face of this idol was like the face of a calf, his hands made plain, ready to receive of them that stood by. So his hands will be out like that, like as if you're handing him something big. He had his hands out like that. All right. That's what's on the side note of a book that was written, a Bible that was written and interpreted in 1537 by 3 black dudes. They knew exactly what the star, what Moloch was, and but he said that what Moloch is that statue I showed at the beginning of the video, the star of Moloch, or this representation of him, or getting duality ship through this paganistic god. You have a star. To be protected by this paganistic god, Moloch, you would rock a 6-pointed star. That's what this is all coming down to. So let's read on. He says, so you shall die for it. What number are we on? That 3?
Yeah.
He said, the people of the land shall stone him with stones, and I will set my face upon that fellow, and will destroy him from among his people, because he has given of his seed. Hold on, y'all. Maranatha. He said, because he has given of his seed unto Moloch, for to defile my sanctuary. See, I told you, you're putting dirt on the Most High's name, and to pollute my holy name. So when you actually are doing Baal worship, rocking these 6-pointed stars, well, I'm not even going to allude to the 6-pointed star right here yet. I'll just say, when you're worshiping Moloch, when you're doing that, you're defiling the Most High's name. And then I'm going to lead to the next statement. So if rocking a 6-pointed star is actually giving reference to Moloch, like the scriptures is saying, like the word figure is alluding to, then you are definitely putting yourself in harm's way to be killed and wiped out by the Most High God from among your people. And it's for the reason is that you're putting dirt on his name. You're making him look bad. You can't sit there and wear literally a blown out butthole. I'm going to say it. Yeah, that's what I've been wanting to say. I'm going to say it.
That's right.
It's a blown out butthole. It's been exercised already with a wiener. This is a bad sign. It's a blown out butt. It's a blown out butt, and you are literally rocking it around. And you're saying that this is the protection. Researching your study and start figuring out what you're wearing. You're wearing some type of sex symbol. Looks like a butt. He said, and though that the people of the land hide their eyes from that fellow, when he gives of his seed unto Moloch. We got a lot of people that's turning a blind eye. When you tell them, hey man, you have a star of Moloch. They, you don't know what the word star means. That's you turning your eyes, hiding your eyes. In other words, in legal terms, it's called turning a blind eye. You just now turned a blind eye, and you still teaching your kids or the children of Israel to worship and practice and do the practices and carry out the practices of Moloch worship. Reading on. So that they kill him not. So ain't nobody over here killing him, is spiritually or physically. Ain't sitting here cutting off the head of that false doctrine coming out of all these niggas. You let that shit slide. He said, man, yet I will put my face upon that man and upon his generation. So that right there is telling you why our enemies will have a reason to carry out this plan. It's because it causes the Most High to trip on us and our generation. He said, and I will what? Destroy him and all that go a-whoring with him. So that means that this dude not only does it, he's going to be leading people. This is what happens when this is actually about in the children of Israel's awakening, or in their process of getting their a lily and all these other things, and what scriptures actually teaches you not to actually endeavor in that bullshit. You got to know these things. That's why he was telling them right before they were actually getting their land these things. Like, hey man, watch out. You're about to go into a land where you can get the game fucked up, and you can get caught up real easy, because all these folks and all these people that I'm about to send you to go conquer, he said they did all this shit. He says it in the scriptures over and over. He said all these things they did. And we ain't no different, and we're not in any other different position than what we are than what they were back then in the wilderness. We're in the exact same position. Just right now, our people are even more stupider. All right. So
That's right.
he said, yet. Oh, my bad. He said, and all them that go a whoring with him and commit whoredom with Moloch from their people, because he's calling it whoredom because they're relying off of this star to be a protection. Oh no, it's symbolic to the Most High protecting me. Then won't you just keep the commandments like he says, and he said he'll protect you by doing that. He didn't say that you wear a star to represent that. Shut the fuck up. He said, if any soul turn him to enchanter, some type of instruction or no, I'll say alluding to the reputation that this has a power to it, a magical power. That's what expounder of tokens is. Like a person with a rabbit's foot. He's an expounder of a token. He's saying, no, this right here makes me lucky. All right. Another one have an expounder of a token. A mood ring.
Yeah.
This right here lets me know what mood I'm in. You don't know what mood you're in? you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is an expounder of a token. You know? He said, if any soul turn him to enchanters or expounder of tokens. Let me see this one right here. Mine says, and the soul that turns himself to familiar spirits. That's what you guys say, right?
Yeah.
Look, ain't these brothers doing that? If you see on the papers. Or expounders of tokens or enchanters. Wizards. What does that man look like right there? That dude looks straight like a wizard.
Man.
People would have a motive. This would actually be a set plan that these people would definitely be trying to accomplish, consistently accomplish, and prolifically accomplish. That's why you see so many camps and so many people pushing this six-pointed star. When in all actuality, I'm gonna give you another one. The Israelites, if they had any type of symbol that represent the children of Israel, it will be the menorah, the seven stick candlestick. They didn't have no six-pointed star. The menorah is not in the likeness of anything on earth. Oh, it was a tree. Show me a tree that grows like that naturally. Slap yourself. The next one, you know what I'm saying? I'm serious. Just slap yourself. It's not a tree. It's literally made by the Most High, by His design. That's what He wanted, because it's not in the likeness of anything.
That's right.
Yeah, you go to this star. Everybody knows. You can't even call it. You can't even call it not a star in any type of other setting. Once you get around the Hebrew community, all of a sudden now English ain't English anymore. He said for low. Oh, because go right here, and this is the motive, and the motive lines up because we have enemies that has an agenda. This is the agenda. We got to go to Psalms 83 and 2. He says, "For lo, your enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head." This is David talking to the Most High, talking about enemies that is actually enemies to the Most High God, not the Most High God's enemies. You know what I mean? But these people hate the Most High. That's what makes them the enemy of the Most High. He said, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from what? Being a nationality, that the name of Israel may be in no more remembrance. So this is the motive. They got to cut us off. And the Most High said, if you do what? You do this thing with Moloch, I will cut you off from among your people. Yeah. So these people, they're not, they know not to try to cut us off with their own power. They know how to cut us off through our power. That's how they do it. Because our power literally left the whole handbook on how to destroy the children of Israel. Because all the terms and conditions for us, when we're not using it, turns into a game plan. You know what I mean? Turns into the game plan. That's the game book. Ain't that what it's called for the playbook? It turns into the playbook for all the enemies of the Most High God. Oh, this is how we get it. So there you go. That's the star of Hasatan. Roman Colosseum. You see the 6-pointed star. That's on his chest. So just shut it down, man. You try to say that this ain't the star of Moloch. You're just a liar. Slap
That's right.
yourself. You try to say that ain't the star of Ishtar, which ain't nothing but just another representation of Satan. All this is all satanic worship. Ishtar, you got the game twisted.
Got that calf on the bottom on there.
Try to say that.
Moloch.
Yeah.
Right under it.
Oh yeah. Let me back that up. Bam. Got the calf right there under it. Thanks for showing me that. I did see it, but I didn't think about pointing it out. But now that you say it, there it is. You got the 6-pointed star with the calf at the bottom. That's how you know this congregation over here is powerful, and your congregation that you don't got is weak as water, or like in the words of Sister Naposset, weak sauce.
That's right.
You're weak sauce. Like yeah, you're weak sauce. Anybody that's wearing a 6-pointed star is weak sauce.
That's right.
Yeah, you weak sauce. If you got that 6-pointed, if you got a 6-pointed bunghole around your neck, you was weak sauce.
Oh.
Get that blown butthole off your throat. Weak sauce. Blown out buttholes, man. I said it. Look. There it goes again, man. 6-pointed star, man. Get that off your neck, man. Get that bunghole off your throat. Get that bunghole off your chest. Because we got all these paganistic people, so we just wrapping it up. I'm showing you this is how it went down. Oh, the video was over, matter of fact. Oh man, what happened to my beats, man? Oh, it's still going. All right. So yeah, there he is, man. Now you guys know. Now you know what to do, man. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna wrap it up with the key points. Where did we cover? We went to Acts 7:43. The next one is Amos 5:23, right?
Deuteronomy 4.
Then we went to Deuteronomy 4 and what again? 4:14.
Yep. 6.
Well, I think we started at 4:14.
Just to make sure.
15.
Right. Huh?
4:15.
Ah,
And then we went to Leviticus 20 and what? 1.
yeah, that's right.
These are the scriptures, and what is the main word that you got to highlight in their mind to recognize?
Figures.
Figures. Where do you look for it at?
On the dictionary, the free dictionary.
Freedictionary.com.
That's right.
And it's going to give you the complete breakdown for the word figures. How many ways of you can flip the word figure, and they only flip it very, very seldomly.
Yeah.
The word figure to actually apply to human
That's right.
silhouettes and structures. It actually is talking about shapes.
Ah. Geometrical figures.
Geometrical figures. An arrangement of triangles.
That's right.
That's right. One nation set apart. Battle axe in the house. With one nation set apart, we got Ak Aharon, we got Ak Malak.
That's right.
We out here and we doing this with the Ruach Kadash, with the Messiah, because when 2 or 3 is gathered in his reputation, not in the reputation of you guys, in the reputation of the Messiah, then he shows up and he helps us and gives us the Ruach Kadash so we can teach properly and we can see the things clearly and not get it mixed up, because we ain't in error. Because we don't
right.
operate out of the Most High's commandments, but Rakatah.
Ah.
All praise to the Most High God. All praise to the Most High Yahweh. All praise to His Son Yahushua for waking the children of Israel up and being a mediator for us to the Most High God, who cannot be appeased because He only accepts perfection, and that's something that we just falling short of until we actually get our second body. That's right.
That's right.
And we out. Maranatha.
Maranatha.
And shalom to that house. Yay, yay. One more thing.
Oh yeah, on the rock.
I'm gonna say another one before we leave up out of here, man. I'm not about to sit here and try to tell you what it isn't. I'm gonna tell you what it is.
That's right.
I said it's a bunghole because the scripture's saying that it is pagan worship of Moloch, and I know with Moloch and how you worship Moloch, it's through the butt.
That's right.
Huh.
And then lo and behold, you got that blown out anus hanging around your chest. Negro, you ought to be ashamed. You need to be bitch slapped for sitting here teaching praises to the Most High. He said, man, make sure and remember, be circumspect, Negro. You didn't see no image of moi when I was out there on that hill,
That's
on
right.
that mountain, burning and blazing with fire. So nigga, don't you go off start making shit.
That's right.
Leave that up to me. That's what the Most High, thus says the Most High, y'all. Oh, why? You fuck boy. And now we out. All praises to the Most High. And the Messiah's coming. Maranatha.
Maranatha.
Despite these niggas trying to teach us to wear these bullshit buttholes.
Yeah, this is for classics. For classics. For classics. More than a beat, just pure music. For classics.com. Yeah, this is for classics. For classics. For classics. For classics. www.4klassix.com. That's where music lives.
Othello on the beat.